Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be doing another update of Baltimore Thurgood International Airport. I figured I would change things up a bit this time and start over here with Southwest. We usually start over on the runway, but we will end there today. So we're going to be starting off here with Southwest. So starting off for today's updates, we have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Illinois 1 color scheme. There's a really cool color scheme that was of course previously painted on the Dash 700, but is now repainted onto the Dash 800. And this aircraft has arrived in from Dallas Love Field in Texas and is going to be heading out to Minneapolis in Minnesota. Next after that, we have a regular Southwest Boeing 737-700. This one has just arrived in from Los Angeles in California and is going to be heading out to Indianapolis in Indiana. After that, here we have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. This one has arrived in from New Orleans in Louisiana and is going to be heading out to Norfolk in Virginia. We then of course have the aircraft that represents this airport in Maryland. We have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Maryland 1 color scheme. Hopefully this gets repainted soon onto a Dash 800. I think that would be pretty cool. But this aircraft has just arrived in from Houston, Texas, and is going to be heading out to Buffalo in New York. And then last but not least, for Southwest, here we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8. This aircraft has arrived in from Sarasota in Florida and is going to be heading out to San Diego in California. So Southwest Airlines operates a pretty simple fleet of 737s. Their NG fleet consists of the Dash 700 and the Dash 800. They currently have 374 Dash 700s in operation and 205 Dash 800s in operation. The Dash 700s are being retired fairly quickly at this point. They just have a lot of them in service. Southwest are still the leading operator of the Dash 700. Anywhere in the world, in fact. They operate a lot of that type of aircraft and they really have been the backbone for Southwest. Of course, as time goes on, Southwest will pursue the 737 MAX as the replacement to their NG 737s. So of course it will be many years before the NG 737s are gone completely, but the MAXs are coming into operation now. Of course they have the MAX 8 in operation. They have a total of 405 of those on order. Not all of them of course are in operation yet, but a good amount of those are in operation. And then they also have the MAX 7 on order as well. They have 307 of those on order and they are set to be received into the Southwest fleet starting in 2025, which is this year of course. It's going to be really cool to see that transition over to the 737 MAX 7, and hopefully one day we can have a Baltimore update with entirely MAX aircraft. I think that would be really cool when we eventually get the MAX 7s released and into operation. We can have an entirely modern Southwest Baltimore update. Moving on to the internationals now, here we have this Play Airbus A321neo. This aircraft is of course going to be heading out to Keflavik in Iceland, and next to it, also departing out to Keflavik in Iceland, we have this Icelandair Boeing 737 MAX 9. This aircraft of course, as I mentioned previously, is also going to be heading out to Keflavik in Iceland. Moving on to the cargo stand now, here we have this FedEx Boeing 757-200. This aircraft is going to be heading up to Harrisburg in Pennsylvania. We then have this Spirit Airbus A321. This aircraft has arrived in from Fort Lauderdale in Florida and is going to be heading out to Orlando in Florida. We then have this Spirit Airbus A320neo. This one has arrived in from Atlanta, Georgia, and is going to be heading out to Las Vegas in Nevada. And then last but not least, here for Spirit, we have this Spirit Airbus A320. This aircraft has arrived in from Houston, Texas, and is going to be heading out to Tampa in Florida. We then here have this Alaska Boeing 737-900ER. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Seattle in Washington. After that, we have this American Boeing 737-800. This one is of course going to be heading out to Dallas Fort Worth in Texas. And then here with Delta, we have the two old boys at this point. We have this Delta Boeing 717 heading out to Detroit in Michigan. And then we have the Delta Boeing 757-200. This one is going to be heading out to Atlanta in Georgia. And next up here, just taxiing out to the runway, we have this United Boeing 737 MAX 9 in the old color scheme. We're still yet to have a release of the new colors 737 MAX 9, but this United 737 MAX 9 is going to be heading out to Houston in Texas today. And then last but not least, here on the runway taking off, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800. This aircraft is heading out to San Antonio in Texas. And just like that, that does conclude today's update of Baltimore Thurgood International Airport. I hope you enjoyed, and with that, yeah, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.